Hi Virgos, welcome to your, oh, you got two cards that just fell there. Welcome to your July 2019 monthly readings. All right, this is take 3. I recorded your video twice and it didn't save it. I don't know why, Mercury retrograde, I guess, but so I just kept continuing with the other signs, and now I'm done, everybody, which is pretty amazing for me. Because today is the 29th, and these are going to be done by July 1st. Where normally I've been struggling with getting them done, so it's been a while since I've been able to get all the videos done before the month started, which is going to make my month a lot easier. So it's less worrying and stress for me. So I'm going to be doing these slightly different, and then you got one extra card. I'm going to be using angel cards to substitute that for whatever you believe in, God, Spirit, Universe, the divine, life, when they use the word heaven or angel, okay? I'm using these cards because I feel like they're highly valuable, and I'm hoping that they will give you the answers that you need. I might not understand it, but hopefully you guys do, okay? So the first card you got is the Healer of Action. Right? It says, this is a time when you can do whatever you set your mind to if your heart is open. You're being asked to do many things at once. You won't mind as long as you know you're making a difference. This card indicates someone who's loving, intelligent, passionate, and fun, which could definitely describe you. This person can handle difficult situations with grace. So you're basically, especially Mercury retrograde, you guys, you know, you might be bombarded with a lot of, like, I was going to say hiccups, but unexpected things, and it's telling you not to panic. Be a little open-minded, in the sense that, like, if you get invitations to go out and stuff like that, and that's not part of your plan, right? Be open-minded and go out, you know, like, take those opportunities on. You will be given all the tools necessary to handle anything thrown at you. Okay, it's saying not to worry. There is an importance here of either your mother or your sister, getting in touch with them or talking to them, or having dinner with them, maybe a girlfriend of yours. It could be an aunt or a grandmother too, even. The next card you got is Seeing Clearly. Okay, it's time to view things from a different perspective. You have had the blessed gift to see past the current situation and envision amazing possibilities. Don't worry, the pause in the moment while you rethink your plan won't last. Embrace your uniqueness and allow it to serve you. So this is basically like the Hangman card, okay? So this is like when you're seeing things in black and white, and what you're being asked to do is to see things in a different perspective, okay, or a perception. So it's when you see, you know, if you're seeing in black and white, it's asking you maybe perhaps to combine the two to find your solution, okay? Because when you have black and white, you combine them together, you see gray, okay? So it's seeing things in a different perspective, okay? So it's also, it's seeing clearly, right? So that we've talked about this many times before, that actions speak louder than words. We all know that saying, right? So you want to pay attention to what people are doing and not saying, okay? What people say has a lot to do with personality. A lot of people can have um, can give off, I can't even say it, you guys. Okay, personality is not character. It's important that you don't confuse the two. Character is going to be shown to you through actions, what people are doing, okay? That's not going to be what they're saying, all right? What people say really has no, take it with a grain of salt, okay? It doesn't have meaning until they show the actions to back it up, okay? This is also like if you're in love or something, and somebody maybe verbally doesn't express it a lot, but they show you. All right, so pay attention to the actions, because not everybody speaks the same language when it comes to love. Even if you both speak English, okay, when it comes to love, your love language is different, and there's many versions of love languages, okay? For you, you might have an action-oriented person, or you yourself may be action-oriented, right? So they show things by gestures, by doing things for you, all right? Or it could be asking you to do that. Okay, with the dog here, a dog is a loyal companion. All right, Dogs require a lot of attention and care, though. Okay, like you have a cat in this one. Okay, cats and dogs are very different. Okay, cats are independent; they can take care of themselves. Okay, they're hunters too. Dogs are hunters as well, but cats require little attention. All right, they'll let you know when they need attention. A dog requires a lot of attention. Okay, cat is happy with a litter box. A dog requires you to pick up after them a little bit more. All right. The next card you got is a happy change. It says your angels have heard your prayers and have banded together to create real and joyful changes in your life. Events begin to move forward and great progress will now be possible. You may need to make some rapid decisions due to the suddenness of activity. Be confident and trust the guidance you receive. So what I'm getting with seeing clearly and happy changes is that uh, some of you guys maybe have been asking or putting out there the vibration of asking the universe or life or spirit or the divine, whatever it is, for help or answers. Okay, you're going to get these answers, and they're going to be in a visual manner, so you're going to be able to see them. So this means that perhaps you've been seeing a lot of spiders lately in your house, okay, or maybe a lot of bees, okay, or butterflies. It could be rabbits, okay. Maybe you haven't seen a skunk in 5 years and it's crossed your path in your backyard or something, or a raccoon, right? Um, that's not just by coincidence. You do want to look up the spiritual meaning of those because your answers are going to be given to you that way, okay. They're going to be subtle and you're going to see it and you'll clearly get your answer, and it will be from the divine spirit, God, the universe, or life. Okay, they'll be giving you what it is that you need. Okay, the extra card you got was a win-win solution. It says there's strength in diversity. By blending the ideas of other people with your own, you can often come up with a solution that's magnificent. Start by focusing on the aspects that everyone agrees upon, and then open your mind to compromise and working together. Stay balanced and seek out the moderate approach. Okay. So that means try to remove your emotion and logically look at things. Um, you might not want to respond if you're emotionally invested in a situation until you can separate yourself from it a little bit. Okay. I also get here, there's something about aunts, uncles, grandparents, something like that. Um, Getting together with them. You do have crows here. I associate crows a lot with Virgo. Okay, if you look up the spiritual meaning of them, there's many versions of it. I also associate them with Odin. It's like when you're given messages, because Odin had two crows. I forget their names. I always want to say Hurtle and Myrtle. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that's not their names though. But they go out and the story goes that they go to opposite sides of the world or whatever, and they come back to Odin and they give him the information that he's seeking. So take things with a grain of salt. But what I gather with the crows is that you will be given the information that you're needed through the universe, because they are birds, they're messengers. Okay, and crows will warn you when you hear that cawing sound. Um, they have Crows are highly intelligent too, you guys. Okay. But they have a communication that they use with all of the other crows, and then they have a communication skill that they use only with those that are in their, I was going to say pack, but that are their family members. So you'll be given the messages necessary. Um, I get that mainly as messages, and you guys seeing things in a different perspective. You have the King of Pentacles. That's great. It says abundance, you guys. All right. It has a bull on it. So the warning with that is don't be too stubborn, okay? Um, the King of Pentacles, he's quite resourceful, okay? A lot of people think when you're a king or a queen, that means that, you know, you're living the high life. That's not necessarily true, okay? In order to become a true king or queen, that means that you are resourceful. You've learned how to use what's at your disposal. So you're being given energies of abundance. However, you're going to have to be resourceful with it. It could be like family members and things like that. They can help you out. Um, but king, the thing with the king too, right, is the king has alliances with other people, and you have this thing here, a win-win solution. So you're going to have to be able to compromise to gather an alliance, right? Because usually, like, we're going back into the, day, all right, like King Arthur days or whatever. There was multiple kings, multiple queens, right, multiple empires. However, in order for them to live in a civil manner, okay, and each one of those empires or kings or queens ruled their kingdom in a different manner. However, a king to a king, a queen to a queen, they had to learn to compromise, right? They had to um, make alliances, to for in order for both of them to prosper and gain, right? They created win-win solutions, not wars. Okay. You have the High Priestess. I love this card, you guys. It says inner voice. Okay, again, High Priestess is talking about seeing what's hidden, what's underneath the veil. That goes back to getting the messages from life, universe, spirit, the divine. They will give you the answers that you are seeking in subtle ways, and you will see clearly what it is that you have to do next. Okay, with the High Priestess, that is a person who has their own set of rules that they follow. They follow the rules of the universe, right? So they can only give you, they are well informed, they have a lot of information, but they cannot give it all to you. What they can give you is the things that they're allowed to, right? And that goes by their set of rules. But High Priestess is talking about like the third eye, seeing what's hidden. Again, you'll see what's hidden, people's actions through. You'll see what's hidden through the examination of people's actions. Okay, because you could have some really good talkers, but they're nothing but that's nothing but personality. All right, and personality means nothing if their character is bad. Right. So you can see people's hidden intentions by their um, character. You have Prudence. It says Eight of Pentacles. I love this card. Okay. I think it is a Virgo card. Don't quote me on that, though. I got nothing in my head today, you guys. But to me, this card is about celebration. All right. It reminds me of confetti, birthday parties, gatherings, that type of thing, fireworks. It's Canada Day on the first tier. It could be, I think, America, July 4th, right? That's a day for fireworks, celebration. But this is also creativity and artwork. Okay. It takes time to create art. Mona Lisa, that took time to go into that painting. A good book, it takes time to create that. Okay. Just know all your hard work's not in vain, all right? And you're going to have to put hard work and dedication into things. You have the two extra cards, three extra cards, my goodness. You got the Empress, all right? It's funny because we were talking about the kings and queens and emperors, all right? So in order to become the Empress or the Emperor, you are going to have to do what this card asks you, a win-win solution, okay? You are going to have to make alliances with other people. You are going to have to partner with other people. You are going to have to listen to other opinions and ideas. You are going to have to fact check. You are going to have to, how can I put it? Source is key, right? So the source that you get information from is key. Every king or queen or emperor or empress, they had an advisor, all right? And their advisor was somebody that was trusted. Why were they trusted? Because their advisor usually had more of a philosophy mind, which meant they weren't concerned about who was right or wrong. They were concerned about the truth, right? A higher understanding. So an argument to a philosopher was not an argument. It was about finding the truth. So you can't argue with a philosopher, right? And the philosopher usually was the advisor because they would seek out the truth. All right. They didn't care who was right or wrong. Even if their king or queen was wrong, they would tell them that. They were not a yes man. All right. You have the Five of Swords, which says defeat on it, okay? And then you got the Four of Cups, which says turning in, okay? Five of Swords, a lot of people see that as a bad card. For me personally, I like that card. I dislike the Five of Wands, and that's because for me, the Five of Wands represents ego and pride, competition. A lot of people say it's friendly competition, but with the Five of Wands, I don't feel that way about it. Again, that's my belief, and um, how I perceive it, and that would be due to wands being an action-oriented card, which means that because people's egos or pride are in the way, actions being taken to defeat another person, right? And it's knowing that they're taking the action and they don't care that they're doing it. They just care about winning at all costs because their ego and pride is involved. Okay. But the Five of Swords, to me, it's a victory card. It does say defeat on it. Somebody has to lose in order for another person to win. All right. And it's like sometimes you have to be lost to be found. It is an Aquarian card. Aquarian is about humanity, which is overall. Okay. So the person who wins is the person who, like this card was saying, a win-win solution. It's the person who is considering what's best for everybody else. They're unbiased. All right. This is talking about, though, you can see there's an ear, there's a hand, and then there's lips moving. So talk is cheap, but action is what you want to pay attention to. Okay, so don't listen to everything that you hear, because depending on who's saying it, right? It's like when you write a story. Okay, a story is being told, and it can be told in many different ways, right? But it all depends on the person who's telling it. What do they want you to know? What do they want you to think? What do they want you to feel? That's what they're going to perceive to you. So people are going to tell you what they want you to think and what they want you to feel. So they're going to say their story in the manner that's going to benefit them. Let's put it that way. That didn't come out right. All right. This is a Venus card, which has to do with love. Okay, love for overall. Okay. You may have to be emotionally detached. Okay, and it is talking because it is Venus and Aquarius. Everybody's like, oh, like, what do they say? I've heard people say narcissist with that card. Okay. I've heard people say that they're emotionally detached. That is true. Their objective is what's best for overall, and they're emotionally detached because they understand the perspective that humans are going to preserve themselves, right? So an Aquarius energy is not there to preserve themselves like a Leo. A Leo is there to preserve them and their pride or pack, or an Aquarian is there to preserve humanity, right? So it's what's best for everybody. That's the person that wins, is that's considering everybody, all right? When there's lies and manipulation and stuff like that done, uh, an Aquarius person understands, especially a Venus in Aquarius and Mars in Aquarius, they're great with human behavior. They're great with psychology. They understand human emotion, humanity. They understand them, right? So they know when a person's going to self-preserve and what they're going to do to preserve themselves, right? To win at all costs. They do understand people will do some pretty grimy things for that, right? But you can see that coming by paying attention to their actions, definitely. There's a mask here in this card with the Four of Cups. So you want to pay attention to people's masks. All right. A lot of people wear masks. And how you see through that is actions. Actions always speak louder than words. Right. I remember dealing with a person in my past where their mask, all right, then they were most likely a covert narcissist. They said they talked a good game. They were always playing on people's empathy, always making people feel bad for them. So they got away with doing nothing all day, like, however, I'm a Sag sun sign. With the Sag Mercury, you guys. All right. That's not the most fantastic placement for BS. All right. That's somebody who will call you out on your ish, right? And Sages, they have their savage moments, right? They're quite blunt. They don't realize it in the actual moment it's happening. They usually realize it afterwards, and they can laugh about it, right? I mean, there's humor in that. Okay. This person just manipulated the hell out of everybody, and I knew that was coming, who the person was due to their actions, right? They talked a good game, but they never helped anybody, right? They were always looking for sympathy. It's like, at some point, you got to call people out for who they are, right? You don't necessarily have to do that, though, okay? The person was trying to make me feel guilty about something, and I called them out in that scenario, like, and they knew very well that they couldn't get things past me, and that made me their target. But that, it's a different story for a different time. However, with the high priestess, okay, the high priestess they can foresee things. They have foresight, right? So like if you in that scenario, I knew I would be that guy's target, right? Because I caught on to that guy, right? So therefore, in that scenario, human behavior kicks in, where self-preservation, right? So it's either you're the one who's hunting or you're being hunted, right? So that person, because I knew what they were about, you know, tried to make my life hell. But at the end of the day, you kill them with kindness when people do that, because when they start doing tactics to try to um, distract you, right? Because it's a deflection mechanism that they're going to use. Okay, I'm telling you right now, whoever you're dealing with is going to use a deflective mechanism on you, which means they're going to try to point fingers at you to deflect from them, right? So they're going to try to sabotage you or make you look like the bad person. However, if you kill them with kindness, it only works if you feed into it, which I'm saying that because you have this ear and then you have the word. So if you feed into it, okay, and there's a hand there like stop, okay? So if you feed into it by allowing them to emotionally upset you or get you mad, okay, because this is an Aquarius card, you have to be emotionally detached. You have to take the approach of killing them with kindness. The second that you start doing that, the person will become more aggressive, okay? And then when the person becomes more aggressive, what was unseen to others, okay, and I say that because you have the high priestess here, right? You're going to see it. What was unseen to others will become seen, because they'll become more aggressive in their tactics, right? To try to deflect attention towards you, to try to make you seem like what they really are, if that makes sense, okay? And then because you're killing them with kindness, their actions will be seen by others, because they'll become more bold with their approach, right? And they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot. So you're being asked to be patient, okay? Prudence, pull back. You're being asked to emotionally um, be mature about things, understand where they're coming from. You kind of got to have pity for a person like that, and you shouldn't really have pity, but you understand it, right? Like they're scared, they're trying to preserve, and again, it's either you're being hunted or you're the hunter, right? So take things with a grain of salt, pay attention to actions that's coming through. That's highly important. You want to see people's masks, right? Because you want to prevent harm coming towards yourself, but also others with the Aquarius Venus here, okay? And you're concerned about your empire, all right? I will pull one more card on top of the Four of Cups. Some of you are being impatient, right? You got to be true to yourself too. If you dislike something, you have to say you dislike it, okay? There is a win-win solution, like the card said, right? You have changes coming. Changes are difficult. They are it's about the number 5. If change was easy, everybody would do it, right? So you got the Chariot and then the 8 of Wands. Okay, the Chariot is associated with Cancer, and the 8 of Wands is associated with Sagittarius and Mercury. Okay, that's they associate that with Cupid's arrow, higher learning, higher knowledge. Okay, it's positive messages coming. I call this my squirrel card. In the movie Up, you see the little dog, and everybody in the movie, when they yell out squirrel, the dog is like, what, huh, what? And starts running after, the squirrel, whether it's there or not. All right. So again, going back to this card, you don't believe everything that you hear. It's about what you see, okay? This could be talking and referring to like you being thrown off track by other people. So other people are going to try to throw you off track, okay? It's like you're on a pathway, like the dog's walking about on his pathway, but the second somebody says squirrel, he's off his pathway chasing that squirrel, right? And seeing how I brought up the squirrel can represent saving for a rainy day. And also you want to pay attention to when people are squirrely, you know, like when you're talking to them and they're all like fidgety, you know, like that's usually a sign that they're hiding something. All right. The chariot is talking about victory. I associate it with victory mainly because back in the day, Egyptian days and stuff like that, after a victory, they would ride the chariot in and it would have all the goods and treasures and stuff that they had. All right. In some cases, it was the heads of the ones that they defeat. All right. Sometimes you got to lose a battle to win the war. Okay. And sometimes you need to be lost in order to be found. Life's full of a little bit of irony. Okay. Just because you know things doesn't mean you go sharing it with everybody. All right. Or telling everybody like, oh, I know what that person's about. You don't need to do that. Okay. Like, because you could shoot yourself in the foot. All right. Because that's what that person wants you to do. Right. They're trying to affect your character. Right. With this card, the only way that you get defeat is if your ego is involved. All right. If pride's involved and ego's involved, you will lose. All right. But this card to me is a victory card. It's the person who has the intentions of what's best for everybody else, and they're willing to sacrifice themselves, right? Because Aquarians can be stubborn. They are a fixed sign. They're willing to die for their cause. And Aquarians are about the underdog. They don't give two hoots about who's on top. They actually frown upon those people. They fight for the underdog, the underprivileged, you know, like the little guy. So I'm going to pull an animal card. So everything that was being said was to help you get to your Empress state and your King of Pentacles state for protection. All right. The King of Pentacles, their characters, they're like rocks. They're there through the good times and the bad times. All right. Like, and they can't be pushed over. All right. There's happy times ahead. All right. And not everybody likes to see you happy. You know what I mean? When you're happy, a lot of people are going to try to bring you down to their level and they'll stoop to some pretty underhanded tactics. Right? But this is like also a sign of like when things are going right for you, you don't need to tell everybody about that because that can put you as a target, you know, like, so with the High Priestess, that's like keeping things to yourself. All right. Trust your instincts and your gut feeling though. So you got the Pigeon. It says city life, stomping grounds, getting by on your own wits, your town, inhabit, embrace the place you live. So this, you know, these are sculptures. So that could be like artwork, museums, things like that. It says embrace your place you live. So that's like exploring the area you live in, right? Sometimes we don't appreciate things until they're gone. So it's like you could live in an area and maybe 2 years from now you're going to move, but you never really explored your area. And when you move, you realize, oh man, there's like a lot of popular places that people go to visit there. And you didn't take advantage of that while you were there, right? City life, that's talking about, you know, maybe perhaps going to the city. Let's see what the book says. They're very small paragraphs. If I can find it, I don't want to push pause, you guys. I don't want to risk the video disappearing. Okay. It says the pigeon embodies the essence of our stomping grounds, our habits that extend beyond our personal homes if we are privileged and desire to have one. The pigeon has become a symbol of the urban city with all of its grimy magical charm. Whether you live in a viable city or a suburb or remote village, the pigeon insists you to find your home in it, to find its uniqueness, own it and make it yours. All right, so embrace your uniqueness, you guys. All right, trust your inner instincts. You know, you could have some enemies because of who you are as a person, and who you are as a person is pretty fabulous, the cards are saying. So don't be concerned about what other people are doing. Just be concerned about what you're doing. All right? It kind of seems like you may have people that want to deter you off your path. Maybe you're progressing. Maybe you're, you know, and they don't like that. You could be an obstacle to them somehow. All right? And, you know, just pretend like you're not aware of it. And at the end of the day, the only enemy you need to worry about, okay, is the enemy within you. There's that something Brown, I forget his name. It's a motivational video, but he says in it, like, there's that old African proverb that says, how does it go? When you face the enemy within, the enemy outside of you can do you no harm, right? Because it's not outside of you what you need to be concerned about. It's what's within you, right? Because sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. But here it's talking about seeing clearly and things from a different perspective. A happy change is going to happen. You need to be aware that change is going to happen. It's going to be uncomfortable, okay? And there's a win-win solution, all right? There's a way that everybody can win, where and actions need to be taken to make whatever necessary happen. But you are being told you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. You have all you have the universe, spirit, God, divine at your disposal, okay? And they will give you the information that you need in order for you to see clearly, because they've banded together to ensure that a happy change is going to come to you, so that there's a win-win solution, all right? Maybe you're going to quit your job, and, you know, anybody that's caused you hassle in the past, well, the win-win solution is they're stuck in their drama on their own, and you get to move forward. You know, maybe this is like with your family members, there's a win-win solution that everybody can be happy in the family, or with your friends, you know, like there's a way that you can benefit in life and grow and what's the word I'm looking for? Advance in life without doing harm to others, and with them being able to do the same. So it's like if you have a business, you may be able to help another business, right? Like the two of you working together creates a win-win solution. You know, like instead of seeing somebody as your opponent, perhaps you see them as a beneficiary for you. You know, somebody you can work with, a partnership, right? All right, you guys, I'll give you one affirmation card. You that can be your homework. Say it out loud to yourself. What does it mean to you? Think about that. What are the words that come to mind when you think about what the affirmation is? And then evaluate that, right? That can tell you a lot. Okay. And the one you got is I am safe. So again, universe has got your back, man. You're safe. You don't have to worry about anything. All right? Like, you will be given the signs, synchronicities, and symbols that you need to progress forward. All right? Or to help you with the solution to your problem. It's all there for you. Okay? See things from a different perspective, though. Try not to look in black and white. Try to find the gray area. Okay? There's a way to bend the rules, but not break them. That's what Aquarius is about. You had the Five of Swords, okay? Aquarius is about bending the rules, not breaking them. They're a rebel. They're not afraid to go against what society deems fit, all right? All right, you guys. I hope this helped you out. I think I'll do the no-show and grow readings once every 4 months. So next month, I might do a little bit of a different reading. we'll see how that goes. I'm glad I got this out, man. You guys are the last sign. Today is the 29th. I did some on the 25th and 26th. Hopefully I can post them today. But definitely by July 1st, they will be posted, you guys. All right, namaste. Have a fabulous month and talk to you next month. Hopefully this helped you out. Ciao for now.